What's up, guys? It is Jay Beats here, and welcome to another episode of the Leyton Orient Road to Glory. Now, I know I say this a lot, but last episode was the best episode of this series. I don't know how long it ended up being. It was definitely much longer than normal. Much more game highlights. Bigger things happened. So much stuff happened. So, you need to go watch that. But, about to start the 7th season of this Road to Glory, and hopefully we do well this year. So this is kind of the lineup that I'm thinking of going with this season. So Tiskonski's going to be the goalkeeper, Todibo, Akanji center backs, Edwards, Fabry outside backs. Then I'm going to have Vecco and Jacobson, who, if you haven't been paying attention to the youth player things, they've been out on loan pretty much for the last 3-4 seasons as defensive mids. Grgic plays center mid, and Tavares Mabimbi on the wings, and Cueto as the striker. That's what I'm kind of looking at. I like the fact that our two defensive mids they're both really young, have really high potential, can mold them. But that is just what I'm thinking of doing right now. In order to make this happen a little bit more, I decided to sell Kai Shibato. He's no longer one of the premier players at the club, and I got him. He left for $30 million. I think that was a brilliant transfer deal for us. We get $25 million in the transfer budget, so I think that was a win-win for us. Jason Denayer will be going to Watford for just under $40 million. He, as you guys saw, we're switching back to the 4-back. He's not going to be playing at all, so I figured it'd just be best to get rid of him, bring in a good chunk of money, and we get $33 million added to the transfer budget. And with that money, we bought the man, Mr. Bench himself, Donny van de Beek. Now, I'm telling you, he's going to be good for us. He's an 86 overall center mid. He's probably going to play where Grgic was playing, most likely. Very offensive-minded center mid. He can't play everywhere, but he's mainly just going to be playing that center mid position. Needed a really good, solid, high overall playmaker to feed the front three. I think he is perfect for that role. And he's only 29, so there is still time for him to continue playing at his best. And again, what has turned into one of the unofficial rivalries is we are about to face off against Leeds United in the first game of the season at home at Brisbane Road. And this is how the team is lining up. Everything's the same except for the fact that Grgic is not in the side and Van de Beek is playing that center mid position. And now, here are the highlights from that game.
And he's broken free. And a goal! That is a very bright start. Perfect way to open. Can they get in behind them? This could level it. And it is the equaliser. Parity now. And who's to say what's going to happen next? Real danger. Just what they were hoping for. It must go in, surely. And a goal! Cause for celebrations again. 2 in front. A chance to eat into their lead. He must finish. And a goal at the second time of asking, but the keeper has let his team down. Oh, big chance. And there is the goal to make it a hat-trick. Excellence in finishing, there for all. And there is the goal to re-establish their advantage.
Well, we can take another look at it now. It's great interplay between...
Will he find the net? And a goal to seal the hat-trick! A masterclass in finishing. Just can't stop him today. Van de Beek. Good vision. Can he get onto this?
So that was definitely quite the interesting game, to say the least. A 5-5 draw on the first game of the season. This would be spread all over social media. This would be the game everyone would be talking about. I mean, they had almost twice as many shots as us, but we scored more. I mean, they had 65% possession, we only had 35. They were the better side, but we were able to stay in it, finish with a 5-5 draw. I mean, if this says anything about the team heading forward, we should not have no problem scoring goals. We just got to work on that whole defending part. So, Logi Bakar, he's the backup right back who's been out on loan for a little while. He's going out on loan again for the rest of the year to Italian side Sassuolo. Hopefully, once he comes back, he can really solidify himself as that backup outside back. And Lucas Gargic has been sold to Hertha Berlin for 20 million. He was getting a little bit up there in age, and as you saw, he's not going to be starting anymore, and he's not offensively minded enough to play that center mid position. So he would have to be playing defensive mid, but we got two young, high potential players playing those defensive mid positions anyway. So I didn't want to take away from those guys, and unfortunately, he did have to be sold. You know, these deals are going to happen, but we're trying to go higher up. We're trying to be better, trying to make better deals. And unfortunately, he just had to go. Same goes for Hector Karampanu. He's been floating at the club unhappy for like the last 3 seasons. Finally got rid of him for 2.45 million. He will not be missed, but that is one of the, I think he is the last original player at the club departing. So it's really a new regime now. Every player here I've brought in, so I can't be upset with any player's performance. Simon Resnick is joining Nunez for 2.5 mil. He didn't really have the highest potential just to begin with, but especially now, that fact that we got everyone else playing everywhere, there's no reason for him to keep him at the club. Samuel Polimo is going to Goiás once the transfer window opens for 2 mil. He's not playing at all. He wanted to leave. He gets to leave. So joining us from the youth academy first will be Kosami Yamashita. He's got really high weak foot, good defensive work rate. Goalkeeping skills actually aren't that bad. He's a 67 overall. He's gonna fit right in with the 3 or 4 other backup rotation goalkeepers we have. Don't know where he's gonna end up, but he could be good. Dominic Kruger will also be joining the first team, 66 overall striker. He's gonna be the backup striker for us. Not the greatest of potentials, but he's got some decent pace, decent shooting, so he can be if for some reason Cueto gets hurt, he could, I guess, fill in his position role, but I doubt it. And Liu Li will also be joining the first team, goalkeeper, 81 to 94 potential. He's probably going to be one of those players, I think I'm going to promote him and then loan him out immediately, because he could be good, and if Konski doesn't keep improving, and while he's out on his loan spells, he plays amazingly, then next thing you know, we got a stud. And Rick Van Leeuwen will also be joining the first team. He's a striker. Not the greatest potential, but he's got the leadership trait, so maybe if I like a second team, he could be the captain for the second team. I don't know, but he's going up. So surprisingly, as we end this episode and head into January, we're 6th in the league. We're 2 points off of Champions League, 1 point off of Europa League. So very, very pleasant surprise. I was hoping we would do well, but I didn't know we'd be doing this well. But yeah, guys, that is going to wrap up this episode of the Leyton Orient Road to Glory. I would say a very, very good episode for us. I don't think many bad things happen. I think it's been relatively positive. We're kind of trending in the right direction, and hopefully, we can continue this up and maybe even be in the Champions League next season. But the season's still long. That next episode will be coming out tomorrow, so make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can see that. And it is J Beebs signing off.